So we're here on the second episode of Sunday Sit Down, brought by the good folks here at Couch Coach Live. I got a good friend here of the my man Keith from the Vault podcast. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. So I see you doing your thing, getting started with the podcast, man. Just tell us about the journey, man, so far.
So far, man, I started it Monday. I'm doing it every other day. When I first initially had the idea, I wanted to do it every day until after I did that first episode, and I'm like, all right, this ain't nothing I'm trying to do every day, at least not right now. So I'm doing it every other day. It's just something I love to do, man. I love to talk about sports, and everybody I've come in contact with, they always told me to do this. I was honestly, man, I should have gotten this back in like 2016. That's when they was telling me do this. You know what I mean? But I'm here, and so far so good. I'm gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah, man, I definitely know the feeling, man. It took me a while to kind of get it and get the confidence going. But hey, long as you start and continue, it don't even matter.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Just keep the train rolling, man. So tell them just a little bit about your podcast, like what you discuss on the podcast, certain things and what have you.
Okay, man. Sport-based podcast. I talk about all sports. I try to stick to sometimes the major topics going on. When you're dealing with all the sports, it's hard to really get everything in there. So I tend to try to just talk about the main sports, and then I'll have some people that want certain topics, and so I give them that. And right now it's like a 30-minute clip, 30 minutes, nothing too long, nothing too short. I just straight audio, until I probably, after a month in, I probably start doing actual live shows, try to get a studio together. So, but right now, man, From the Vault, the name, honestly, came from a group of my brothers. We came up with that name before. It was called From the Vault, FTV to keep it short. And as I started the show, I said, that's the name I'm going to use. That's the name I'm going to roll with.
Yeah, most definitely. So, we talked. So, and of course, my man got the Steelers jersey.
Yeah, I got the goat on.
Rep your boy AB on the cover of the cover boy Madden. One of the victims of the Madden curse. Put it that way. But hey,
hey.
And we'll definitely touch on the Steelers, and also we found common interest, man. We're both fans of the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, sir.
Even in the bad times, we just went over the Last Dance and everything with the dynasty. We're 22 years removed from that fantasy ride, and now present day, man. Let's talk about pretty much the present day Chicago Bulls. We know now that there's a regime change with the new general manager. Everything's going on. And then, let's talk about this, the new general manager, Mark Eversley, and just your thoughts on just the hire and what have you.
Well, honestly, I honestly like the move. I really do. He's the first black GM, I believe, for the Bulls. And he's already well respected around the league. And interesting, if some people don't know, he wanted, when he was with the Raptors, I believe, 2000, I want to say 06, he initially wanted them to get Paul George. He knew what Paul George was going to become. You know what I mean? So the guy, he knows talent. So especially with Chicago and our young guys, sky's the limit for us right now, man. We young right now, yo. We really are. I feel like we're going to be in the playoffs 2 years guaranteed. Give us 2 years. I really feel we can get back in the playoffs guaranteed.
I agree. That's like you said, this is a young, talented team. I think it's just more so of and then getting the right people in.
Yeah.
I think Boylen has to go. My personal opinion.
I'm 100%.
Yeah. And that's my biggest thing, because his type of mentality on that young team, because I don't know if you remember the story when he was getting guys to punch in and punch out, like back in the day when people used to punch them down. You cannot, these 25 plus year old millionaires, They're not going to punch a clock. Let's just stop with, you don't have a veteran team. I can understand if you have veteran guys, they can buy into that. We talk about 20, like 25, probably the oldest players, probably like 27, 28,
Yeah,
if that
exactly.
probably. They're not going to buy into
That is
that.
a young team right there, man.
Right. And I'm just like, man, these guys ain't going to be punched into no clock and going to believe that. It's just ridiculous.
I'm with you on that one, man. I mean, he has to go. And
Facts.
this is a big off season for us, man. Far as GM and far as who we bring in next for the head coach. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna be real with you. If they re-sign him, then that tells me everything I need to know.
Right.
That tells me everything I need to know, man. But this is a big off season for us. I can't wait for it. I'm telling you, I can't wait for it. I honestly think we there, man. I think if we can land a superstar, which is possible, you know what I mean? If we can land a superstar, I think we got the talent to make it happen, especially in the East.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny because when you look at this team, what's weird about it, they're in like pretty much in a weird position because they're only, I want to say about like 6 or 7 games out of Orlando for that last spot, but then they're three games behind Cleveland for the worst record in the East. So it's just they're in a very weird situation.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, that's one of the things where I do see that I do see it coming back around. I mean, turning it back around. And I think getting the head coach is definitely going to help. And I mean, yeah. And the thing I really want to ask you the question, this one thing, and this kind of topic that we talked about last week on Couch Coach Live, how when the NBA is coming back and how they're trying to bring certain teams. I know now there's rumors that, hey, it could be potentially 20 teams that are coming back.
Yeah.
As a Bulls fan, would you want this team to come back and compete for the final spot in the playoffs?
No.
Thank you.
No, it's no point. No point. I mean, only way I can see teams competing or wanting to come back is if you realistically believe you have a chance to win the finals. We not there. It's not our year. Who if we were to come back to compete for that last spot, we're fooling ourselves. You know what I mean? Just call it quits, man. You know what I mean? Cut your ties off now. Start fresh next year. You know what I mean? Everything going to be new, energized, new energy in that just the franchise in general, it'll be new energy. We got to stay home, man. Ain't no point in coming back.
Yeah, and like I said, it's one of the things where the summer's over. I mean, the summer's starting. Get ready because I'm assuming that the season's going to start in December. Get the guys ready for December, the end of the year, and just, start anew. And like you're saying, we just cleaned house, so you need to kind of let them clean house and let the guys just take the summer off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree 100%, man. Ain't no need in coming back. It really isn't. There's no need.
I agree. I totally agree. And I'm glad as a fellow Bulls fan, we are in unison in that decision because it's pointless. Yes. It's pointless.
But don't get wrong. Yeah. You got some Bulls fans that want us to compete. I don't understand them, but
right. The biggest event for me is going to be the draft lottery. I'm sorry, but that's what's going to be for me, to be real with you.
As a Bulls fan, yes, I'm with you on that one. This is a draft class that I feel like is loaded. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I feel like it's loaded. I mean, honestly, Chicago should have a top 5 pick. We should. We should have a top 5 pick this year. And if we get a top 5 pick, I feel like you can't go wrong. Especially with our new GM, you can't go wrong. I know he's going to get us the right guy for the job.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, so who should be the head coach of the Chicago Bulls going forward?
I'd be kidding myself if I said it was a hard decision, but honestly, I like Kevin. I may be pronouncing his last name right, but the old head coach for the Knicks, Kevin Stefanski, I'm not pronouncing his last name right.
I think I know you. He said Kevin.
I know I'm not pronouncing his last name right, but he stepped down for the Nets last year.
Oh,
What he
Atkinson, Kenny
Yeah,
Atkinson.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kenny
That's
Atkinson.
what it is.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
fault. My
yeah.
fault. I don't know where I got that
Oh,
other last
hey,
name from. Yep. Kenny Atkinson.
yeah.
Yep. Correct. What he did for the Nets last year, or just in general when he joined them,
Yeah.
that's what we need. We need instant change. If you go back, when he went to every year he was with them, they improved every year. They improved every year. You know, he was under Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni's a good coach.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He was his understudy. He went, you know what I mean? He's with the Nets and he turned that front and he turned them around. He turned to a playoff team.
Right.
And I definitely feel like minus the addition of Katie and Kyrie before that, I definitely believe we had a better squad than what he originally walked into with the Nets.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I that's the coach I honestly want us to go after. I really do. What he did, like I said, what he did with the Nets, that's enough for me. That showed me everything.
Yeah, because I remember, because with Kenny Atkinson, he's guy I kind of follow because I'm a fan of. He's an alum of University of Richmond. He used to be on a part of the. It was the '88 squad that went to the Sweet 16. So he's like he's like a legend at University of Richmond.
Okay,
but here, and I used to feel sorry for him. I'm like, oh God, like why is Kenny going here? Because you got to think about it. He came into a situation. Remember where they pretty much tanked their future with all those draft picks going to Boston, and I'm like. He's not going to be able to rebuild his team. He's not going to be able to build his team with quality first round draft picks. I'm like, man, Kenny walking into something that's just that ain't going to go well. But he like you said, surprisingly did a great job. Where every year you've seen them take the next step and take the next leap, even without the resources that most teams get. You know, like you get the first round picks and what have you, able to improve your team the old-fashioned way. He kind of got robbed of some of those opportunities because of the KG and the Paul Pierce trade. But
definitely. But I'm telling you, I think he's a man for the job, man. I'm telling you. Like I said, to me, this is a big year. This is a big off season for us, and I'm telling you, this is a big off season for us. I can't wait for it. You know, I know a lot of people they are looking towards the playoffs or finals, but as a Bulls fan, man, I'm telling you. That is what I'm looking forward to that off season.
Big time. Definitely huge shout out to our guy, Dre Newton. He said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, bro?"
Man, so what's up, man?
Yeah, and then our guy Jeff Hunt from the Jeff Needs Help podcast. What's going on, man? How's everything going,
man? Jeff?
All right. So we got a couple guys chiming in. Definitely appreciate everybody who, checking us out here on the Sunday sit down. Got my guy Key from the Vault podcast, man. He loves the Bulls. He got another struggle team. I ain't gonna front. My man likes the Baltimore Orioles, man. Let's just talk about
by default. I may add.
Yes, and let's and explain that. Explain that. Especially, I want to hear that default story. Absolutely.
But by default, that's my hometown. I'm born and raised Baltimore, Maryland. I ain't gonna get up and lie. I'm not the biggest baseball fanatic. But the Orioles, that was a family thing. All my family loved the Orioles. And so it was kind of by default, I went to them, but man, we doing bad. We doing bad, man. I hate talking about them, honestly. I really do, man. We ain't been in playoffs since 2016. Like, come on, man. What are they doing over there? And then they cheat. You can't be bad and cheat. Right. Oh man, I tell you, it hurt my heart every time I gotta talk about them boys.
Yeah, man. You're right. Definitely. Those are very cheap and bad. Yes, indeed. That is true. So yeah, man. So, and what's interesting about now with everything, sports are coming back and what have you, with everything that's going on now, how most of the teams are now coming back. And now MLB is the one that's kind of like having these issues with the revenue split. What are your thoughts on just this whole revenue split situation that's going on? And are you pro player, pro vote, pro owner? Your thoughts on it?
I'm with the players on this, man. This and see, it's that right there is a crazy situation. At least as I look at it, it's a crazy situation because like you say, MLB, they technically don't have a salary cap. But with this revenue split, in a way, it's their version of a salary cap. And mind you, if you know, back in March, the players, they already agreed to take a pay cut. They already agreed to, you know what I mean? They already agreed to take a pay cut. Like they messing with their pockets right now. And I was actually reading something yesterday. You know, all the revenue actually doesn't get reported as far as like the MLB. So when you splitting it down the middle, you know what I mean? It's rumored that some of that stuff gonna be left out. So I feel like they're gonna be picking and choosing for, you know what I mean, far as what they want to how can I say this? What they want to how can I say that, man? Some of the costs, man. Some of the costs, I don't like it at all. I don't. The players, I feel like they touching their pockets, man. They touching that money. You know, once you get into another man's money, that ain't never going to end good.
Right. I agree. And that's one of the things where it's just like you get with the players, because you really got to think about it. Even though, you know, a lot of people, the angle is, well, you know, you have so many people that's unemployed. And I'm thinking to myself, granted, they don't want to hear that. But in the same token, if you were at a job and essentially they're like, hey, we're going to cut, because they was talking about at one point, it was like 80%.
Yeah, you ain't lying, yeah.
Right, and it's just like, okay, you're not gonna speak up. You know, so
exactly,
that's why part of me. And then I was even hearing how they were even going to do where they like the guys in the top end were going to get pay cuts and kind of have an even square, even you know, and even to even it out.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, and that's one part of me is just like, yes, either way, when you're dealing with money, and I don't care, even in good times or bad, it's gonna always rub you the wrong way. But I got you, like you said, you got to look at it, like you said, it's these people's pockets, and it's
exactly. And then I was also reading, man, if they have to play the season without fans, that's more money they lose.
True.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I believe every team lose somewhere. If they had to do it without fans, they estimated I think it was like 600-something thousand, or it was something like that. Like that's even more money.
Right. And that's where the issue really lies.
Exactly.
Man,
it's a cutthroat business, man. We know this.
Yeah. And they're gonna have to get it fixed because they should be the first ones coming back, because they don't want to be the last at the table when NBA comes back in June, at the end of July, and you know they don't want to be second fiddle to them.
Exactly.
They need to get this stuff done quick, fast, in a hurry.
Exactly. They need to get all this squared away. But it's looking like it's going to be some tension, though. I don't think this ain't going to end good.
Yeah. So when the league does come back, what are you expecting from the Orioles?
We ain't making no playoffs, man.
Yeah.
We ain't making it. I'm telling you right now, we ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
Orioles, I have to be real with you. I'm not going to set up and sugarcoat it for you.
Uh-huh.
The Orioles, I really don't see us doing anything for the next, I honestly want to say about 3 years, man. I cannot make this up. I really don't, man. All my Orioles fans out there, forget it, man. I'm telling you, we should just take a 3-year hiatus from baseball in general. I'm telling you, man. It is bad for us, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
They need to change right now. We need to change, and we do. I'm telling you, we need to change, man. I told you, I hate talking about them. They bad, man. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know what happened, man. It seemed like I swear, in the blink of an eye, it seemed like at one point we was rising up. I'm telling you, it seemed like we was just rising, and now we just took a slump.
Yeah. So one more question to end your misery. All right. Over under 60 wins.
Under.
They're gonna lose 100 games.
No. Okay, I won't go that far. I won't poop on them that much. We'll go over tonight.
Oh no,
We'll go over. We'll go over.
Oh, come to think about it, I forgot because it's going to be 82 games. I forgot. So we're gonna do over under 35 wins in the 82 game season.
We can go over. I'm with you on that. I think we could do that one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. But yeah, so let's talk about your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers, led by the Stallion. Yeah, your boy Ducky Hodges. Well, no, we're not talking about Ducky.
Man, come on, don't do that to me on air, man.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So let's talk about the Steelers now. Now Big Ben is back. He's looking pretty good. Of course, he's been throwing the football around, and the guy saying he's back, man. Your thoughts on Big Ben coming back this season?
Big Ben coming back is the piece we were missing last year. If you watched it was all quarterback play. Literally, that's what it was. That we went 8-8 last year with Mason Rudolph, who I didn't see the promise in him. And then we went to our third string. He was looking good when he first got in. He was looking good when he first got in. Then he started looking like Mason, man. And then he started living up to his name, throwing ducks. But Big Ben coming back is just what the doctor ordered. Our defense is there. Our defense ready. We're gonna be at full strength next year. Defense, I believe we're top, honestly. And I'm not even being just biased. I believe we're top 2 defense, no question about it. We are a top 2 defense. Steelers, honestly, I see us going 11-5, but it wouldn't surprise me. I got us 12-4 at best. Our offense got better. Our draft was actually a good draft, if you ask me. As far as the team needs, we coming, man. We coming. People think them Ravens. They think the Ravens just won't run that division, but we gotta step in and slow them down a little bit.
Yeah, and huge shout out to Dre. He asked a good question, but how do you think Juju will perform? That's a good question.
Juju, and now I'm gonna be real. I may hurt some feelings, but Juju, I feel like he's not our number 1 guy. I like the kid Deontay Johnson. I've been saying this. If anybody know me personally, know this is who I've been advocating for. Juju to me is a good number 2. He's a good number 2. I'm telling you, man. Last year, I don't know what it is. I like him. He's a good receiver. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's bad, but I look at him, his route running. He's not the best route runner. He got hands. He's not the fastest. He's big, but I feel like Juju is a number 2 in the NFL. I don't think he's the number 1. He could shock me. I hope he do. But right now, I don't think he's our number 1. I think Deontay Johnson is the guy. Deontay Johnson reminds me of the guy jersey I'm wearing right now. He reminds me of AB. But Juju, best case scenario, I give Juju maybe 1,100 yards. That's the best case scenario.
Yeah. So Keith, and this is definitely a huge shout out to Jeff. Are you a Tomlin guy or no?
I love Tomlin. Say what you want about that man. He can coach his tail off. He can coach his tail off now. I do believe early on, he was a defensive coach. And, if you watch the Steelers, you a Steelers fan, our defense was looking, it was looking crazy. That secondary was looking awful. And it's saying we turned it around. We went and got Joe Hayden. Joe Hayden was actually the start of the turnaround for our whole secondary. We went and got Joe Hayden. We went and got Minka. Then we signed Steven Nelson. Steven Nelson, honestly, is so underrated, man. It's honestly not even funny. The man is a good corner. I personally, man, if you by his numbers, he's a top 10 corner. You can go look that up. Yep. By his numbers, I'm telling you, like our secondary, we there. I'm telling you, and that defense, Mike Tomlin coaches his tail off, man. He ain't never had a losing season yet. So, they whatever you want to say about him, that man ain't gonna let us go but so far.
Yeah. So let's talk about the offseason. Your thoughts on it, and one guy who I think is gonna be a difference maker, and I think a lot of people really haven't really talked about it. Your thoughts on the acquisition of Eric Ebron?
Oh man, I'm with you on that one. Eric Ebron, top 5 tight end this year. You can quote me on that. Put that in the book. You know what I mean? Top 5 tight end with Ben Roethlisberger. Ben loves his tight ends. And if you go back in the Steelers history, we do good. We do good when we have a good tight end. I'm telling you, we do good when we have a good tight end. Eric Ebron. With the Colts, you know, he was facing injuries a lot. And with that being said, he didn't really have a good quarterback. Well, consistently. You know, Andrew Luck, he was all banged up. Then he retires. So, you know, now he got Big Ben. I'm telling you, Eric Ebron, he's another one with the doctor order. And then you got Eric Ebron, and now you got Vance McDonald. And Vance McDonald's our number 2 now. So,
yeah,
when you got Vance McDonald your number 2, that's not bad if you ask me.
Your boy Dre. As Ravens fans, I hate you guys. Cut Artie Burns.
yeah, because Artie Burns, look, he was living up to his last name. He kept getting burned every time he touched that field. I'm telling you, Matt, and that is one of the Steelers, to me, worst traits. We are too committed to our draftees. We get rid of them when it's too late. Artie Burns should have been out of there, man. He was getting burnt left and right. You know, it is what it is. It was a failure. He was a first round pick. He was a failure. He didn't live up to his draft status.
Big time. So your thoughts on the draft? I know we touched on it a little bit, but your thoughts on the draft and guys who you see having an immediate impact for the squad this year.
Our draft, like I said earlier, I believe we had a great draft. Matter of fact, let me stop that. I won't say great. We had a good draft. This draft class was loaded in every way. I'm telling you, this draft was loaded. You know what I mean? First round, we didn't even have a first round. Second round, we got Chase Claypool. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. That kind of shocked me because we passed up on Dobbins, the running back that the Ravens picked up. I thought that's who we was going to get because, like I say, Connor can't stay healthy. I really thought that's who we was going to go after. But Chase Claypool, big target. You know, he's getting some comparisons to Megatron. Like I said, I don't like comparing him to him. You got to perform before I can compare you to somebody like that. You know, we know what Megatron did in this league, but Chase Claypool, he was a good addition, especially to our receivers. Then we got the linebacker, Highsmith. I believe he's going to be an unsung hero for us. He's going to be that guy that gives T.J. Watt, Bud Dupree, you know what I mean, let them get a little rest. He's going to have I think he'll have immediate impact. And the one draftee that I feel like don't get enough praise is that safety we got from Maryland. That was a steal. Remember I said that. That was a steal. That safety from Maryland, he was a steal. And we got the Maryland running back, speedster. And that's what we was missing, if you ask me. None of our running backs are fast. None of our running backs were fast. And we needed that. I loved our draft. I really did. I loved our draft. And then if you want to go ahead and say Minka was our first round, then, hey, that's even better.
You take that. You take it any day. At this point. Big time. So, shout out to Dre. So, do you think Clay will play tight end or wide receiver?
Wide receiver for now. I believe they could have packages where he's put at tight end. But, like I said, with Eric Ebron, I just don't see them. With Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald, you know what I mean? I don't see them interfering with that right now. I believe that they will have some packages in the future where they could put him at tight end because he definitely could be a tight end. He reminds me of the guy from the Raiders, Darian Walker, the tight end for the Raiders. You know, he was a wide receiver and they converted him to a tight end.
Tight end, yep.
So, you know, it's definitely possible. But at least right now with Eric Ebron and Vance McDonald, I don't think they're going to interfere with that right now.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And yeah, man. So with the Steelers, so you said 12-4, 11-5.
I'm more leaning towards 11-5.
11-5.
I'm sold on 11-5, and I believe we'll make the playoffs with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny. And let's see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, absolutely. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yes. And one thing too, and it's funny because I kind of predicted. You know what's so funny? I think it's gonna come down to you guys in Cleveland. That last game of the regular season, who's gonna get that 7th spot in the playoffs. And like you said, 11-5 will really align with that prediction, I think. I can see both of you guys coming in at 10-5. That's something that, that last game of the regular season, and that could possibly happen.
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Our predictions on the Browns, we a little different because now, call me crazy, but I got the Browns winning our division, man.
Interesting.
I really do, man. I mean, I know on paper, it's no way you telling me the Browns aren't that team. But now, like I said, they got to perform. I don't want to get too off topic, but the Browns made some moves, man, for the coaching staff, that GM. I'm telling you, the Browns. I think this is going to be the year. I ain't saying Super Bowl, but I think they can win our division this year, man. I really do.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, Mark.
Thank you,
yes,
Mark.
indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, man, let's put a bow in this week's Sunday sit down, man. Let's do social media, man. Where can they find you on social media, man?
Man, I am on Facebook from the Vault Podcast. As you see it down there, from the Vault Podcast. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I got SoundCloud. I'm everywhere with it. From the Vault. If you go on the Facebook page from the Vault, that will take you to all my social media platforms in the bio.
Absolutely, man. We definitely appreciate you coming through, Keith.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
So sit down. Definitely, most definitely. And man, and check out From the Vault Podcast, pretty much everywhere that you get podcasts.
Yes, sir. Everywhere.
Yes, sir. Any final words before we head out?
Hey man, go Steelers.
Yeah, man. So I'm a fellow Redskin fan. We play you guys. I want to say December of this year. So we'll have a little bet down the line. We got about 7.
We have a little bet.
We have a December date with you guys, and we take our 8-year trip to Pittsburgh, and we'll put some bets on the line.
Hey, look, depending on how things go, man. Hey, we can attend that game.
It depends. Hey. I mean, who knows? Who knows what positions we will be in that time period in December? We could be spoiler. We could be leading division, and vice versa for you guys with Pittsburgh. So, hey, man, looking forward to that.
Same here, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Appreciate you for coming through, Keith, man. And this has been this week's Sunday Sit Down, man. Definitely check out From the Vault Podcast, one man. Keith, man, we're signing off. We appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
All right.